Hello, everybody. I'm Professor Pixel here on Pixel Lore once again to discuss Rings of Power, episode 5, 3, what?
Four.
4. Jeez, it's been a long day. But to join me, of course, is Jimmy. Say hello, Jimmy.
Hello.
Yes. Landry could not make it this week. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. But we are here to discuss Rings of Power. We have a new episode, so there's some things going on. And it's really just a question of who's cut out this week. To Jimmy's delight, they have cut out the Harfoots this week, in case you were worried. No stranger, no Harfoots. But everybody else is there. Including Jimmy's hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my camera to focus. I don't know why it's not.
Oh, okay. So we're going to assume that if you're here, you've already seen it. You're here for a discussion. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and say that this episode is not one of my favorites. Give me my chance. I enjoy most everything except anything concerning Galadriel. I like Halbrand, but when it comes, Halbrand, my bad. I like Halbrand, but when it comes to Numenor and Galadriel, I could not care less. It's really hard to get through. That being said, there's still a lot to enjoy. We had Bronwyn's son. What's his name? Do you remember?
Theo,
he goes ahead and he has a little adventure this week. I did enjoy that because before he was seeming like a whiny brat. But here he actually takes initiative and he does actually provide for his people who are in the Watchtower. But we also get a sneak peek of what's to come with him. Foreshadowing. Yes. Well, especially with that blade. It's no mere sword, boy.
It's a necro blade, dude.
It's a necro blade.
Which makes no sense because the Witch King is not here yet. None of the ring wraiths are there yet, which they're the ones who live between the Shadow World and our world. And they don't even have the ring, so therefore they can't be ring wraiths yet. So that blade shouldn't be there.
Okay. But are we saying that the blade is a personal extension of them?
No,
is it not possible that the blade could exist before and that is the weapon of them?
Well, it's a Morgul blade.
Yeah.
Which I believe is in the... I think it's in the Shadow World. It's not even the Shadow World. The other side. And I think the only people who had them, though, were the ring wraiths.
Well, that could be it. And you know what? Theo might end up being a ring wraith. People are already suspecting that there's a good chance of that. And it might be true.
I got a theory. He's actually Halbrand's son because Halbrand's from the Southland, which where they are. He's a king of the Southland. And Bronwyn even said his father took off. And where's Halbrand? He took off and he was in the middle of the fucking ocean. And now he's at Numenor.
Aaron, dear, I'm your daddy now. Okay. Adar, a big ol' hype fest from last week. Turns out to be weird, creepy guy.
He's an elf.
But he's not. He's an elf, yes. You can see by the ear. But Arondir has to ask, what are you? Dramatically. So that implies that there's something more to him. And I think he is
he's an elf, but he could be one of the first ones who...
He's a red herring. They're trying to make us think that he's Sauron. That's.
I never thought that once.
We don't have to think it because.
Do you know who Sauron is?
Oh no. Who do you think Sauron is?
And I got every single evidence I have. I need to say Halbrand in the past 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Even to episode 2, even 2, 3, and 4. Those are all all the evidence I need.
Mhm.
Do you want me to go into detail on why that is?
Wait, you're saying Halbrand is Sauron?
It's Sauron.
Okay. Well, you said just like 2 weeks ago that you don't think that's it, but
No, I said I think it is, but I'm open to saying that he wasn't because we didn't have enough evidence. Now I'm saying he is for sure.
okay. I don't. I'm not against that. I think that making this lovable rogue the grand villain of our story, that sounds like fun.
No, he's the villain for sure. It's because what's the first pieces of dialogue he says in the entire series?
I don't remember because the ship was crashing, and
it's when Galadriel gets on the ship, and he says, "Looks can be deceiving."
Okay.
And then that's when they find out she's an elf. But he knew that before because who's been looking for Sauron for thousands of years? Let me take a guess. Galadriel. So it goes into that. Then it goes into the second episode, the third episode where
I'm just thinking of Galadriel and it hurts, man.
Yeah, it does. Dude, she's not Galadriel. But get into the third episode with Halbrand. And what does he do? He manipulates the court. It seemed like Miriel and Galadriel were going to get into a cat fight. Going to get into a cat fight. And what does he do to save his own butt? He starts talking. And that's exactly how Sauron, the Great Deceiver, deceives everyone in Numenor with his own words. And then when he's about to get into a fight at the bar, you saw he goes into it seriously looks like a deep evil stare. And then he comes out with the perfect way to stop them from fighting. And then, oh, yeah, cool. And then when they actually go and fight, he fucks them all up to the point where he's going to kill them.
Yeah.
And then now we get to episode 4. What does he do? He's in the cell. He tells Galadriel, "Why is my camera so blurry?"
I don't think he says that.
Yeah, he does. But he tells Galadriel, he says the most Sauron thing anyone's ever said. He said, if you really want to win, you have to find out their weakness and not exploit it. Figure out a way for them to master it so you can master them. That is the most Sauron thing anyone's ever said. Also, that's exactly what Sauron does to Tar Palantir and Ar-Pharazôn.
So here's what I'm gonna say to that. I don't disagree. I don't think the stranger is Sauron. I wish we got some more of him. He's actually starting to learn words now. So to not have him at all.
I heard a great theory about who that is.
Hit me.
It is not Gandalf for this theory to work out.
It's Gandalf's dad.
Dadolf.
Dadolf.
No, so the theory is...
That's too close to Adolf.
I don't like that. But the theory is he's a blue wizard, which, I suspected to begin with. And the reason he's looking for stars, constellations, stuff like that, is because the other blue wizard fell somewhere else. So he's looking for the star constellations to go find him. Or her. It's a whole new show. It could be a woman.
Can you imagine the outcry against that?
Dude, there's already black elves and dwarves.
I don't care about that. I gotta have a mini rant now.
No, you don't, because I didn't get to finich mine.
No, I'm not ranting at you.
No, I'm saying people are more upset about that than they are about pretty much anything.
For the people who are saying that is their main focus. Oh, you're tarnishing what Tolkien made. No. How? Tell me how. Because there is no way that any of these characters, we don't see them in the future. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color they are. Only the characters that we've already seen have to live up to a certain ideal. So So for people to go ahead and say, "Oh, you can't have a black dwarf or a black elf or a black hobbit," what's wrong with you? Come on,
Well,
focus on something that's
Black
actually a
Hobbits are
problem.
actually canon.
That's true. I mean,
No, but
they're
the problem with it was, for me, was before I saw the show, was I'm worried about it because I had a feeling that they were gonna do like every other show does and make that who the character was. Just be like, oh, I'm a black elf, and I'm gonna make that my entire persona. Oh, I'm a black dwarf, I'm gonna make that my entire persona. No, you gave us black dwarf and a black elf who were fantastic characters, and it was
Absolutely.
just we don't care. You're just being you in this world. That's why I don't care. Also, if you have a problem with a black elf or black dwarf in a fucking world where there's dragons,
dragons.
I mean, you guys got some other problems going on.
I mean, like, I review House of the Dragon as well, and I'm watching that. I love it. And people are, there are people that are complaining about, no, not black Targaryens. They're not Targaryens. They're another kind of Valerian, the Valerians, something like that. And essentially,
of Targaryens.
No, they're just they're of Valerian blood, so they're not family, but they come from the same place.
I wish Landry was here right now to say something like to talk me off out of it. I don't know anything. I'm waiting for the series to be done so I can binge it.
Oh, I could tell you things, but that's not our focus. My whole point is, in no way does the color of their skin impact the character. If anything, it's just the characters themselves are shining through. And when you do take a character that is simply just, look at me, I'm a black elf and I'm proud, that would not, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants that for the story. Have elf racism. Elf racism is fine. Knife ears, that's okay.
I'm sorry. Did you just condone racism?
No, I did not. I'm saying,
but it's elf racism, so it's okay.
Well, elf racism is okay, you know. Knife ears. I loved hearing that. I loved hearing that. Elves aren't real, Jimmy.
That's
Elves
the
aren't real.
equivalent to the N word. And you're like, I love it. You're horrible.
Well, you know, you play enough D&D. But no, the characters are great. And Arondir is my favorite elf right now, even more than Elrond. And I do like Elrond, but Arondir, I think, just is the best.
Okay.
Sorry.
Elrond makes you smile every time he's on the damn screen.
Yes, but that's because he has his.
If he had long hair, he'd be perfect.
Well, you know, by the end of the season, he might grow.
No, he won't. His hair's too sleek.
Next season?
I'd be okay with that. No.
I'm very frustrated because I fear that this show, it's not in production for season 2 yet, I believe.
What?
I go ahead and look it up
now
while I'm
talking. I have
talking.
to wait 2 years?
Go ahead and look it up while I'm talking, so that way we can make sure. I'm pretty sure it's not. And Amazon has said that this is their puppy. And if this puppy doesn't go well, then it's going to decide their streaming future. If they cancel this series just because of its rough start, I'm not going to be happy. Because there are so many things to enjoy. Yes, there are things that are bad, and I think there are things that are genuinely bad. But that does not mean the whole show is bad. There are so many characters, so many storylines going on, and yes, they're all going to end up connected at the end. The only problem is Galadriel. And yes, I understand she's supposed to be the main character, but it doesn't matter. All the other characters are better. So, remember when people were worried that Disa was going to be a problem for the show? But she's fantastic. I love Disa. Disa is right now one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's already in production?
No.
Oh.
So there's no release date yet, unfortunately. However, Time Magazine has reported that the Rings of Power Season 2 will begin filming in October of this year, so it can air in late next year.
Good.
Bro, that just hit me. That means we're gonna have some Russell T Davies Doctor Who and Rings of Power Season 2 at the same time.
It's going to be our year, man.
This is gonna be, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel the hype. So with all of that, I just don't understand.
No, I just read something else.
Oh, Jimmy's read something else. Look at the serious expression.
I'm confused. Okay, it says Círdan the Shipwright will be returning for Season 2. Now, here's the thing. Círdan the Shipwright has not been introduced yet into Season 1.
Oh.
So that means Shipwright the Shipwright is going to be in Season 1 somewhere.
I guess they did something right. No, I tried to make fun of it.
You know what's funny? Círdan the Shipwright. It's really funny. Círdan is actually, I can't remember what language it's in. Either Quenya or Celadarian, something like that. One of those two. It means shipwright.
Mm-hmm. So it's Shipwright the Shipwright.
His name translates to Shipwright the Shipwright.
That reminds me. I'm going to talk about my favorite episode. Favorite part of this episode, which is dwarves. Dwarves are great.
About Mithril?
Yes, that was a major drop. I didn't expect.
You didn't expect the Mithril?
No, I didn't think that was going to be what the big secret was. When they opened the box, I was thinking it had to be.
It was shining. Did you think it was like the Silmarillions?
It might have been.
Silmarils.
Silmarils. Might have been.
I don't think they have the rights to that.
Yeah, I guess not.
They don't. They only have the rights to The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that's what they're basing it off of because they have the appendices in Return of the King.
No, I watched with some family, and my eldest brother, he enjoys Lord of the Rings as well. He thought it could be the Arkenstone, but I don't know.
No, your brother would be so wrong for one big reason.
It's been years, man. It's been
one big reason.
Come slack.
It's in an entirely different part of the fucking world. This is in Khazad-dûm, not Erebor.
To be fair,
Dwarves?
It's been a long time. Dwarves, you know.
No.
Dwarves are dwarves. That's a different kind of fantasy racism.
This is Khazad-dûm, the greatest kingdom of the dwarven kingdoms.
Yes.
Totally different.
But I did love the element because Elrond has to deal with Celebrimbor, basically saying, "Why are they?" Huh?
Celebrimbor.
Is it?
It's Celebrimbor.
My bad. Basically saying, "I wonder what those dwarves are doing. They, your friend Durin, he's not coming up here. He's not getting involved. Why is that?" And Elrond's like, let me go find out. And
Two things. One, because he's the fucking king. I mean, he's the prince at this time, but he's the prince. Yeah. You're not going to expect him to go travel to literally an elf land, even though their relations already are iffy.
Even though at the end of this, he's going to London.
Yeah, but that's for a different reason.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they went to a Region. But the other thing, which is I caught afterwards, it confused me. The timeline. They already have like half of it already made.
Really?
From the time they started working to halfway done is the same amount of time the Southlanders leave their city and get to Osgiliath.
It's like those House of the Dragon time jumps, except, not exactly.
No. One, these people are walking and they get to Osgiliath in a short amount of time. And the other one apparently is like sped up overnight. This giant fucking.
Well, Jimmy, they traveled by map.
Thanks for that. Yeah, what they did, they traveled. They pressed their start button and went to fast travel, and then picked their location and went there. Yeah.
So, that being said, though, Durin is trying to hide the fact that, hey, we have this mineral that we're not going to share with you. We know what will happen if people just know about it. And my father, he wants to shut it down. But guess what? Accidents happen, and it is shut down. But Elrond gets to keep the piece that they want to keep secret. It's a confusing way of hiding something to me. I understand. Take it, Elrond. I know that I can trust you now with this secret. But go ahead.
It's a symbol of their friendship.
Yes, but he's going to
and
take
it still doesn't make sense.
No,
because they're trying to keep it so secret. Yet he goes, I'm gonna give you this, and yeah, I know you work for Celebrimbor. Yeah, I know you work for the High King Gilgalad, but
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Yes, it doesn't make sense, but at the same time, it's easy to shrug off. Honestly, I forgot about it like 2 seconds later because the mind was caving in.
No, that
I thought they killed him.
I thought they killed the king too.
I
I was literally just like, oh no, he's just sitting there. And then my roommate watching it with me, he goes, oh my God, is he dead? And I go, oh shit, no! Because I was like, that would have been the saddest moment ever. Wanting to apologize, but can't.
Then with Disa singing after, I was really worried. I was like, is this it? Is this death for Durin the Fourth?
Now, if you go back and watch the collapse of the mine, boost up the volume. I think I heard a Balrog roar.
Oh, that's cool.
They're digging too deep, and then they're gonna get to the Balrog, and then they're gonna lose Khazad-dûm, which is a big fucking moment in history. But also.
As people are pointing out, this timeline is heavily compressed. Like all the events that are filled out in detail, they're pushed together. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that the story for each character is bad. It's not. The only one that it's bad for is Galadriel, because Galadriel, while in Numenor, is just honestly insufferable. She's horrible, and I want her gone. When they are shipping her off at the end of this episode, I was like, good, go ahead. And then the trees had to come in and have their little say, and they were like, oh no. I don't like Queen Regent Muriel either. She's basically a woman who threw her dad into a tower and said, we're the people want me to be in your stead because you're kind of elf crazy.
No. He's actually sick. Now that makes that, and I didn't like that because, to be fair, in the time where Sauron gets to Numenor, who I'm still assuming is Halbrand,
would make sense.
Tar Palantir would be in command, and he starts manipulating Tar Palantir, and then around that time, Ar-Pharazôn kind of captures the power. He turns the people against them, and he takes the power, and then Sauron does his work on him.
But here's the thing. I can understand him, the king, being like, we gotta return to the old ways, guys. The elves are going to, if we don't follow the elf way, the gods are going to smite us down. And everybody said, we don't like elves. We're racist. You're crazy. And that was it. That was his career. That's his reign. So his daughter rules in his stead with the hate mongering against elves.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It's a shame that they got the one elf that's actually worth hating. Oh, Galadriel. What a absolute mess. With one of the people that I watch with, they said whenever she's giving one of those stares, it looks like she's casting a spell. Isn't it ironic? Because they don't let her do anything of the sort. There's nothing like that for her here. She is what she is.
She's not casting a spell. You know what you should have said? She's being a bitch.
What?
You should have said, no, she's not casting a spell. She's being a bitch.
That's her magic trick, being a bitch.
Literally, the only thing in this show that I hate the most, and so does my roommate, the one thing that we just cannot stand is Galadriel. But this was her best episode. You want to know why?
Why?
She apologized for something she did wrong. This is her first time. And you know what? It had to be to another woman she had to apologize to. She wouldn't have apologized to another man. She wouldn't have done that. These writers wouldn't have let that happen.
Yeah, no, that's true. But at the same time, the apology is just lost in the murky waters of her bitchiness.
And remember, she was wrong. She was wrong. Camera, fucking focus. She was wrong, and then leaves, and then the white tree starts to shed its leaves. And by the way, when I saw that, my roommate was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I didn't say anything because I'm like, "Oh shit, something's bad is happening. This is not good." Because the only time when those trees die is when some evil shit is happening. And so I was like, oh dear God, no. And so they got her to come back, and then they called upon the Númenóreans to protect the queen. And then at the very end, she gives like a smirk, like, that's right, I knew I was right. I'm like, I just wanted to like, dude, if you were real, I swear to God, I don't hit women, but I would be tempted to.
Muriel, and the problem is they put Muriel, who is also not great. She, like, I won't say she's as bad as Galadriel. She's just not great. She's not. I don't like her at all. And I also don't like the random humans we're supposed to care about with their dating lives. You know, the one girl who
is Isildur's brother, sister.
God. And I don't like
did you notice who she's dating?
Oh.
Ar-Pharazôn's kid. Oh. And no, that's gonna be big because Elendil is very much by the book. You will do what's right. Like, you are gonna protect whoever's in charge with all costs. Okay. And so if he's getting hit, if Ar-Pharazôn, when he captures the throne and takes over, he could use that relationship. Landry said he's not coming.
Okay. Well, a little late.
Kind of guessed. But he could use that relationship to manipulate Elendil's daughter to backstab her father. That is a big thing that could happen.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't like them. I don't like humans usually, to be fair. In a fantasy setting.
To be fair, you don't like relationships in TV at all.
That is not true. That is very true. I don't like Doctor Who and relationships. You
don't like Rose and the Doctor.
There you go. Because that's the Doctor.
You don't like Amy and the Doctor?
No, because that's the Doctor. Amy and Rory, though.
You don't like the Doctor and Martha?
No.
You don't like Matt Smith and Clara?
No.
What about Yasmin?
Oh, fuck you. The only acceptable relationship within the span of time is River Song and the Doctor. But I digress.
Because they're two Time Lords?
But you know what? I'm going to call you on your bullshit. Because Arondir and Bronwyn, I do not mind. I like how they need to push it further. They need to go ahead and actually establish something. They've been separated.
The only time an elf and a human.
I understand it ends in disaster.
No. The only time. Well, I mean, yeah. The only time an elf and a human have ever mingled together has been twice, and it ended with death. And that's when Arondir said, "You don't have to remind me of that," because he was one of them. So he could be a half elven, like Elrond.
Oh, it could be. That being said, is there anything that we're missing? I think we've gone pretty much over everybody. I mean, Arondir does get back with the people at the watchtower, but now we know that all the orcs are going to go attack the watchtower.
Now I forgot to mention my thing about Disa.
Go ahead.
My problem with her this episode was not her. It was the editing. It seemed like the editors chose the worst scenes possible to use in this episode, because we saw her in episode 2. We know how great of an actress she is. Now we see her in this, and all of a sudden it's like they use the worst clips out of her acting. It's not like it's like she was acting bad in this episode. I don't like her acting, except for her singing. Her singing was beautiful. It was perfect. But when it comes down to acting, it was bad, and that's why I don't think it was her. It was the editor's fault, because they chose the wrong clips to use.
I didn't get that. Honestly, I was just delighted to see
Anything else you'd like to know?
I'd like to know?
With Disa, that's what she said to Elrond. I'm like, that was the stupidest thing I saw in a while.
Well, she's poorly hiding a secret. So, that does remind me, though. It does remind me. I also wanted to talk about Adar. We didn't actually discuss him. Yes, he's basically an elf with an extra bits that's like, oh, look at me. I got a scarred face. Aren't I cool?
I think he could have been one of the few elves who switched over.
I'm disappointed.
Who followed Morgoth.
I'm disappointed.
We only have one episode with him, bro.
He sounded cooler. They had the whole slow-mo boom, boom, like he was coming, and oh shit, here he comes, and he's nobody. He sends
that we see so far.
Yeah, he sends Arondir with a message to the Watch, and yeah, honestly, Theo had more of an interesting story than Adar here.
I don't like Theo at all.
I didn't like Theo, but actually in this episode, getting to see him take that initiative. Listen, we need food because otherwise we're going to die. We can just sneak in. It's the day. We can sneak in, grab stuff from the basement, pull it up, and
this is what I wanted to show you.
He's going to show us something now.
I thought I saw Narsil.
He said.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Waiting. He's going to show us soon.
So when Galadriel and Muriel ended up talking truthfully for the first time,
cool.
The first scene of Galadriel walking in, I thought I saw this. And it turns out I did see what I saw, but I'm thinking it's Narsil.
He saw what he saw, but he's unsure of the scene of the saw. Here we go. Oh, the sword, yes.
You're telling me that is not Narsil? Oh my god, it looks exactly like Narsil.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just, I'm rough with my swords. I'm sorry.
All right, give me 1 second.
He's going to show us something else. We just have to give him a second. Let's bring it close to our faces again. It's a little more
I don't want to go shopping. I want to go images.
Did you look it up and it said, you can purchase Narsil here?
Pretty much, yeah.
Here's my thing though. We're halfway through now. I'm just having a rough time with this series because it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. There are people that think it's bad, and I can't understand it. The only one who is bad is Galadriel? Let's see.
Narsil looks like this.
Oh.
And then we get this one. I mean, it's right here. You can see it.
Oh,
Side by side. Stop clacking your tongue.
sorry.
It's really high pitched in my ears. See, you got that? You got that.
Yeah, but it's like
Exactly the same?
I mean, shape-wise, but look at the color.
Yeah.
Look at the color. Look at the color,
my God.
man.
The color can be different. Who cares? And also, it's in a sheath.
I meant the handle, but okay. Look at
Bro, you're also forgetting this is a blue hue over it because it's on a side taking a picture of a TV screen.
Okay, fair. You get this one, Jimmy. Okay.
Look at this. Look, you got like
I see it.
wider ends, just like Narsil. Same thing right here. You get the wide blunt.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. You got the grip handle right here, and then bottom half is just smooth. Same thing here.
Okay. I give it. I concede. Okay.
Oh, it's a different color.
I said it was. It is. It is a different color. I was right
reason.
there. For a reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, that our opinions are we like a lot of this episode. Galadriel still sucks.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. That being said, we're halfway through. I'm not seeing
So
how.
sad. It needs to be 12 episodes.
Tell me something truly, Jimmy. Do you see us right now reaching a fair season finale?
No.
Yeah, no.
The only thing that they can do is reveal Sauron and start forging the ring. Start forging the rings of power.
Gosh, they are speeding through. How's this supposed to last 5 seasons?
Because it's going all the way up to the Sauron or Anatar attack, start manipulating Ar-Pharazôn and Tar Palantir. And what he said, okay, real quick. What Sauron said to, Halbrand said to Galadriel, find out their fear and manipulate it so they can master it. Not manipulate it. So, yeah. This is very, Sauron did that to Númenóreans exactly because Númenóreans are fearful of mortality. They fear death. And then that's when he says, you can stay alive forever, get immortality if you start worshiping Morgoth. And then when that starts to not work, he goes, we can go to Valinor and take it. And then they go to Valinor. And then that's when they kill a bunch of Valar, and Eru's like, you did fucking what? And then sends that giant tidal wave, as we saw in this specific episode. And then that leads to the war, the last alliance of Middle-earth. The last alliance between elves and man, or whatever. The War of the Last Alliance.
I think
so. I can see how it can get to 5 seasons. I really can. So
here's what I'm thinking, though. I think they're not going to go with a straightforward way like that. Okay, that's not very straightforward, but you know what I mean. They're not going to go hitting that plan if it is Halbrand that is Sauron all along. Sauron all along. He's already being propped up to be king of the Southlands, pretty much. That's what Galadriel said. Hey, listen, back him up. We can unite the people against the damn orcs. Hate those orcs. With that, I think they're pretty much going to bolster his power, and then they might pull the villain plot twist, which is kind of lame if they're not, sticking forward with the, let me whisper in your ear path,
Kind of
Nobody's talking to you, Google. Yeah, but no, he's rising to power, and then he might manipulate people, but it's not the same way.
Nah,
Um,
he's gonna be manipulating the king like real soon.
Well, I hope you're right. I think that would be very interesting. But overall, I think that this episode has a lot of good bones to it. I love dwarves, you know that. I'm glad Durin's alive, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in London next episode, or maybe the episode after. Sadly, it depends. I don't like how they're splitting the stories this way. I should be getting a taste of everybody in every episode.
No, then it becomes too thin. It's like Game of Thrones. Remember in Game of Thrones, certain episodes you wouldn't even see Tyrion Lannister. Certain episodes you wouldn't see Jaime Lannister. Certain episodes you wouldn't even see Eddard Stark. You wouldn't even see certain, like, it would just be like whoever's the most important for this episode is going to be in it.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I think they have. I suppose they technically have 4 paths right now, but it's really like 3. Because Arondir gets tied back into Bronwyn's, and so
no. It's you got Galadriel and Halbrand.
What?
A Elendil and a Isildur. Then you
They're
have
kind of tied in.
Yeah, it's kind of tied in, but not
They're
fully
all
up until this episode. But then you also had
I don't like them either.
You also had the Harfoots. You don't like
them.
Isildur and Elendil?
No.
End of stream. I'm done talking to you.
Sorry, I feel nothing. The show doesn't make me feel anything. Just because, yes, their names are there, that doesn't
make me feel
like a natural woman.
Like a dangerous woman.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay.
No. No. Elendil is great. I love Elendil. Isildur is just a kid at this point, which is going to be great because they're going to build up that relationship between each other, which those two at the end end up getting the ring from Sauron.
It's all going to fall apart from Sauron eventually. But until then, I'm torn because I do like parts of this, but I really dislike other parts of this. So it makes it very
best
difficult.
part of this was Durin the Third and his and his son Durin the Fourth.
Always. Dwarves are the best. We love dwarves. Hashtag dwarves. I'm not adding anything else.
I think you're gonna get a different subject if you type in hashtag dwarves.
I didn't say do it on Pornhub. Anyway,
not at all what I was going for, but okay.
That's where you put it in the most, huh? No. Your eyes. This show isn't as bad as people are saying, but it's also it's not great.
I'm happy just to be having a Tolkien adaptation that's semi-good.
Well, most of the Tolkien adaptations we've had are pretty good.
Hobbit 2 and 3. Pretty bad.
Okay. Fine, fair. I forget about that because I never saw Hobbit 3. So
Hobbit 3 is horrible.
I lucked out there.
I like Hobbit 2 to a point because the second Hobbit movie gets Lake Town perfectly. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. That being said, I'm interested in some of those fan cuts. Have you heard about those? Where they cut it into like one big movie?
Yeah, they cut down the 3 Hobbit movies into a 1 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
And I hear it's fantastic.
That sounds like something. Yeah. That's
to be fair, it only should have been one movie.
Yeah. Honestly. I love The Hobbit. I love the book. Honestly,
2 at most.
One of the things that I... Okay, yeah. Am I cutting out?
Every now and then.
Every now and then? Oh, yeah.
Stop clicking your tongue.
Sorry.
Keep
It's
clicking your
natural.
tongue. It's just right. It's just. I'm wearing earbuds. It's just.
I apologize. I think I did it again. Anyway, that's pretty much it for us. We have enjoyed it, and we're going to keep enjoying it. And I know there are people that don't. I'm sorry.
I hope we're gonna keep enjoying it.
We're probably going to keep enjoying it. But until then, we just have to ask you to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What do you think? Let us know. But that's about it. Anything else, Jimmy?
Yeah. No, that was it. I was saying yeah.
Check out Mad Men with a Box. Every Wednesday we go live. You don't want to miss it.
Doctor Who
But-
YouTube channel.
That's right. You listed as a comedy podcast. If only we were funny.
Chris and I are pretty good at it. You bring us down.
Fuck you. Good night, everybody. It didn't end.
I think I'm actually gonna hit the hay pretty. Oh shit! You're not even done yet. I thought you were done.
No. Bye-bye.